Welcome to the power of a pivot coming back from injury. If you are currently injured or your training has been derailed through whatever is going on in your life, then this is for you. If you're new around here, my name is Gillian. I am a running coach that focuses on nutrition and mindset to help you achieve your running goals with having a boatload of fun and building your confidence. Now, being injured at any time is no fun whatsoever, but even more so if you've got a race upcoming. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you get injured. But it doesn't mean that things have to stop. And I've got a guest coming on the call today, Amy, who I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, and the conversation that we had was so inspiring that I wanted to get her on this IG Live to chat a little bit about her experience. So she got injured about a year ago, and that injury led to another injury, and she has been on quite a journey in terms of mental and physical journey, movement, challenges. So yeah, I wanted to chat to her a little bit about her experience. Now, this is her experience. So even if you have the exact same injuries, everybody's different. So the purpose of this IG Live is for information versus diagnosing or telling you what you should be doing. Please always consult with a professional. Either reach out to me separately, send me a DM, or talk to your coach or your physio or somebody that can help come up with a plan that is right for you versus using what Amy and I will be talking about as what you should be doing. We'll be giving you guidance, but really ultimately this is just for inspiration to show that even when you are injured, there's things that you can do to keep moving forward, to keep feeling strong mentally and physically, even if you're not actually being able to run. Okay, let me see if I can get Amy on the call. If you've got any questions, please ask them in the chat. Okay, that's her invited. Hopefully she makes it on. But yeah, as I said, being injured is no fun whatsoever. But that doesn't mean that everything needs to stop. Obviously, we want to be very mindful of not aggravating that injury or prolonging that injury. There are a lot of things that we need to kind of be mindful of so as not to make it worse, because we don't want to make it worse. We want to get you back out there as soon as we possibly can. Yeah, I don't know if I should keep going and wait for Amy. Maybe I'll just keep going. But let's just do this on the fly. So when you are injured, regardless of what part of your body gets injured, there are still ways that you can move other parts of your body. So for example, if you've got a calf injury or an ankle injury or a foot injury or a hamstring injury, you can still work your core, your arms, your shoulders. So there are still things that you can do that still has movement in your weekly schedule. So you don't have to give up all movement. And then when talking with Amy, one of the key priorities for her was ensuring that she was moving for her mental health as well. If you are moving your body a lot and regularly and then get injured and stop cold turkey and you're doing no movement whatsoever, I guess that your mental health will take a bit of a battering. And so that's why we want to ensure that we're continuing to add movement into our schedule, even when we are injured. Where is Amy? I'll just invite her again. Okay. So yes, as I said, adding movement in. Oh, hello.
Hi, Gillian. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Good. Very good. Thank you. Happy to be here with you.
Yay. I was just kind of talking in general in terms of what we're planning on doing here and a little bit about your experience. But before we kind of dive into that, tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Give me a little bit of details.
Sure thing. I'm just going to set this up so that my shaky hands, because I haven't had breakfast yet, I've only had coffee. So, uh, yeah, you can see me as Miss Teen Canada on Instagram on this beautiful platform. I'm Amy, and I live in Montreal, Canada, and I develop websites and do SEO, and I like to have a lot of fun. I like to be in nature, in trails are where I'm happiest, and uh, probably reading a good book in a hammock now and again too.
All of that sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. So the reason why we're here, we're talking about the power of a pivot when it comes to being injured. We spoke at length a couple of weeks ago, and we really dove deep into your running experience and your injuries and how you managed to pivot. Can you kind of give us a little bit of details around what happened and yeah, talk us through what you were doing prior to your injury and then what clicked in your head to know that you needed to kind of keep going, keep doing some form of movement?
Sure thing. So I have run pretty much my whole life since I was a teenager. I'm 45 now, so for decades. And I love to run, and it's like all runners, I think, anyways. You have on and on again, off again, sometimes love affair with running, mostly on again. And that's been the case for me. Now I get now and again off again, but very largely on. I love running. I love running in trails particularly. And there was a time a few years ago where I really reduced the running I was doing, and I was doing a lot of biking. It just worked out that from my home to my office was 17 kilometers, and it was like the perfect bike ride in and bike ride home to feel like you still got a really good workout. And then after those types of kilometers on the bike, I didn't really feel inclined to go running, so I was running less and less and less, to where I was even a few months with almost no running, very, very sporadic running. And then my son, who at the time I guess was 18, asked me to do a 10K with him. And I said, well, I'm very active, so I'm fit enough cardiovascularly to do that. And yeah, I haven't been running much, but should be fine. I've run my whole life, and I've been doing a little bit of running here and there. So I started very last minute trying to train for a 10K, try to get a few kilometers in here and there before the race. And I started feeling a bit of pain in my right foot, but I sort of ignored it and said, well, nothing's going to stop me from doing this event with my son, because God knows if your teenage son wants you to do something with you, you better find a way to do it, because it's not always the case. So I ran the 10K, and I felt okay actually during the race, and I crossed the finish line, and I did, slow down as you do, and stopped, and immediately the bottom of my foot was on fire, the bottom of my right foot on fire. So what happened was I had developed plantar fasciitis, the dreaded PF, and it is dreaded by runners. It should be dreaded by runners. It's horrible. Yeah, it was really tough. I definitely couldn't run after that. I tried to, thinking, oh, I'll just do little light run. No, like actually you just can't. In my experience, you just can't run anymore for a while, in my experience. Mm-hmm. And so I had a lot of pain ongoing all the time in my right foot. And I tried all the things, the special socks, the rolling the lacrosse ball, the golf ball, the icing, the rolling the icing, all the things, stretching, osteopathy. Really none of it helped. I bought expensive shoes, expensive flip-flops. Those sort of allowed me to walk at least a little bit. But no, it was pretty, I was done in. And as a result, I was putting a lot of weight on my left foot or my left leg, and I tore my meniscus in my left knee. One thing leads to another. Good times. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I tore my meniscus in my left knee, which really had me off my feet. It was actually February, and so it was. I'm, in Montreal. There's a lot of ice in February, and I hurt my foot, hurt my knee. Couldn't do anything. Is what I kept saying. Like, I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lover of trails, as I've said now, maybe this is the third time, and nature. And, through hard times, I go spend time in a forest. And I couldn't do that. I actually really could. It was icy. I couldn't even really walk safely to my car with my knee
Mm-hmm.
in so much pain. Anyways, I was lucky. I'm in Canada, socialized healthcare. I was able to get a fairly quick confirmation of what I thought it was, which was indeed a torn meniscus. And as I was feeling very sorry for myself and saying, I can't do anything right now, nothing. I heard that and I thought, what is this a story? Is this a narrative? And interrupt me here because I'm just going on and on.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm going to let you keep talking.
Okay. Is this a narrative we tell ourselves, or is this true that I can't do anything right now? My knee was constantly, like literally constantly, very painful, and couldn't really walk much. So I thought, I could join a gym and do like upper body movements, if nothing else. And that sounded terrible to me. I mean, really, like actually horrible, truly. I'm not being hyperbolic. I really had no desire to join a gym. I really prided myself on being an outdoor worker outer. And not a gym rat and, whatever. But there actually was nothing else I could do. And it was the one thing I could do. And I'd rather do that one thing than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we were talking, you were saying how, yes, the gym was the absolute last thing you'd want to do. Like, you would do anything else other than go to the gym. But it turned out the gym was your savior. And I think perhaps the key to it being so good for you was that you spoke to somebody at the gym and you got a routine to do versus going in and not sure what equipment to use or what you should be doing to be careful of your leg and not aggravate it even more. But you spoke to somebody there and you had a fantastic experience with them.
I did. And in fact, a fantastic experience at the gym itself, which is a bigger surprise to me than anyone else, for sure. I went, you have to be aware when you have a closed mindset, if nothing else, being aware of the closed mindset. And I went knowing I had a bit of a closed mindset and knowing that I had nothing else to do but this. So I tried to force an open mindset and went. And yeah, the gym I joined had a special promotion on where they set you up one time with like a trainer to show you around the gym, really. Well, it turns out the trainer I was set up with is an athletic therapist, a qualified athletic therapist, which was awesome because he took my history before we met and I explained the injuries I had, including even an old broken collarbone from a biking accident 5 years before and all of that. And he showed me I thought I would just be doing upper body, but he showed me numerous lower body exercises that I really was skeptical, including the leg press. And I said to him, like, my knee is really rough, like, and he goes, no, just trust me. We're going to take it light and easy. I'm right here with you. He seemingly knew about such things, and sure enough, he did, because the proof is in the pudding. And all of the exercises he showed me, I absolutely was able to do. And I was very, very precious about my knee, very careful. And there was absolutely, now I can see there was no danger in anything he showed me. He wouldn't have taken that risk. And everything I did, I like tried out very, very gently. And sure enough, I, got more and more confidence in the exercises and could even increase weights a little bit. And I was able to do a full body routine, lower body, upper body, core. And I would just go into the gym, do it every 3 days, and on my way. And this practice has been an actual miracle in my life. And I am not overstating by saying that. It cleared up my plantar fasciitis on my right foot, which clicked like on a day after maybe 3 months of this weight training. The plantar fasciitis just cleared up. I was doing nothing else differently. So that's really, in fact, I had stopped all the special socks and the rolling and the whatever. I had stopped all that stuff, and the weight training, having the support in the leg itself and foot and in the mechanism, I suppose, is really, I believe, in my estimation, what cleared it up. And this is really exciting, this weight training that I was doing just to do something, just to sweat, just to be active, just to be healthy, because one must take one's health seriously, especially at the age of 45. It becomes more and more apparent. I still have, I'm waiting for surgery. I still have a torn meniscus. I should have surgery actually, hopefully in a few weeks. They should call me very shortly. And I do have that injury still, but I'm able to do everything I want to do. So I also at the gym was able to bike and row. Those were two exercises the athletic therapist showed me I was still able to do beyond the weight training. And I've built up the biking all summer, where I'm doing 40-kilometer bike rides, no problem. And not just no problem, like really no pain in my knee whatsoever. And recently, about a month ago, I tried running a little bit, which maybe isn't recommended when you have a torn meniscus. I'm not sure. So this is all just my experience. I'm not recommending anything to anyone. I'm sure that's a caveat that you offer.
I did put the warning out before you joined. I was like, this is your experience. This is not us giving advice. We're just talking about your story, and hopefully it will inspire people to pivot.
Thank you. So feeling very good, able to go on long 10K walks, 40K bike rides, even a little bit of hiking, which I love, but very gentle terrain, like really walking in the woods more than hiking. And I dancing. I like to dance while I cook and whatnot. But I also tried my first little run. I thought I'm going to do it super slow, little, maybe in my mind I would do 3K, but stop on a dime if I felt anything in my knee. I felt great. I felt great. And I've been doing 3, 4, 5K runs, not worried about my pace, nice and easy does it, always willing to stop immediately if I feel anything, not pushing it, because now I've been injured and I don't want to get back to where I am very limited in what I'm able to do. My quality of life right now, truly, thanks to the weight training, which was not a welcomed addition to my life, but what are you going to do? You got to pivot. So I have found that my quality of life is amazing. A little bit of running, lots of biking, lots of fun. I can go out with friends. I can go to concerts. I can dance, all of that. Really just because the story I told myself that I can't do anything right now while I'm injured, I recognized as untrue. And I thought, what could I do? Well, I don't want to do that. But what you going to do? And I did it, and it's made all the difference, a huge, huge, huge difference. And I really have to say, like, it's for me now, not just injury treatment. So if you follow me on Strava, you'll see when I do the weight training, I caption it, injury treatment and prevention, because at this age, there's just going to be more injuries along the way. So one must be, I think, proactive about it.
Love it. I love it so much. And this is why I wanted to chat, so people can hear your story, because it would have been so easy for you to be like, well, I can't run, I can't walk, I can't cycle, I can't do anything. And then potentially spend the next year in a negative headspace, but then also physically feeling bad. But then not only were you able to heal your plantar fasciitis, but you have come back so much stronger physically and mentally because you opened your mind to the possibility of doing other things. So I think so often a runner gets injured and like, well, can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Where you were like, okay, I don't like the gym, but I'm going to go. And I think the few key things to kind of take away here is listen to your body. Like you were saying, like you are really mindful of what it can do and not pushing through pain. But then finding somebody that can really support you. I think your experience of finding that person at the gym, it was like serendipity. And I've told you this before, like I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason. I think him being assigned to you helped, because had this been potentially any other person at the gym, they may not have been as educated as this guy to help you not only give you the exercises that you need, but then also push you safely and not push you to then potentially make things worse. So I think there's a lot of things there that was just like, perfect.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. So it has worked out really well. And I think naturally I'm a positive person who luckily attracts a lot of positivity. But, you know, I was pretty down, and I get it. When people get down, it's hard to see what you need or what you can do or that you can do anything. So maybe it's just finding a little kernel of what you can do, going with it, and you just never know. I actually was really surprised to even just enjoy the gym, you know, not even the social aspect of it, just like, oh yeah, doing something physical, I'm working out, I'm still getting those endorphins. It was a huge surprise to me, but you don't know what's going to happen if you don't try it, something positive.
Exactly. Yeah, you knew what sports that you enjoyed, which ones gave you those endorphins.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, you could have easily just done nothing. But now you now know that not only do you enjoy the gym, but doing that strength training is helping you so much more, not only physically, but mentally as well. But now that it's part of your routine, I'm making assumptions here, but even once you've had the surgery and you're back to being able to cycle and run and cross-country ski, that going to the gym will still be a part of your schedule, still doing that strength training.
Yeah. You know, we all know you lose muscle mass as you get older and it becomes important for your health. But when you have something tangible like that, an acute injury, and you see both the lack of weight training throughout your life, what it maybe has contributed to you being more easily injured, but then also so tangibly the improvement on your quality of life. In other words, my joy in life every day. When you see it so tangibly from this important, can't believe I'm espousing the importance of weight training, but such an important thing. You know, if you want to be active, if you want to be able to do the things that you love in life.
It's so important. And not only strengthening your muscles for movement, but for living. And the difference that you had said that in going to the gym, you were able to feel the difference and notice the difference, even just from going 3 times a week. And it's just constantly showing up and pushing your body when it needs to be pushed, and listening to your body and pulling back when it needs to be pulled back.
Yeah. Do you, as a running coach, I guess you've seen people be injured, and have they been able to pivot successfully with such efforts? I
think what you have done is definitely unique, not necessarily in terms of pivoting, but the fact that you didn't have a coach and you recognized that you needed to do something, you needed to have movement in your life still, and you went to the gym even though it was something that you didn't think you were going to enjoy, but you did it. I think a lot of runners want to just kind of wallow in that, I can't run, then what's the point in doing anything? So
Yes, yes. Because
it's
running
hard.
is sort of a bit of a religious experience for many runners, and for me too. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can't do it though, do something, right?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. And why I wanted to chat to you, because yeah, for the last year you could have been doing nothing,
Mm.
but it just goes to show that trying something new, being open to trying something new,
Mm-hmm.
now you love this whole new part of what you've got as part of your schedule that you didn't have before, and are getting stronger even though you can't do all the activities that you want. And I just wanted it to be to show people that yeah, you can have a pretty awful injury that runs on for a year, but you can still do things. You can
Yeah.
still find that joy. You can still find the joy in movement, and
Mm-hmm.
moving our bodies. It shouldn't be as a punishment. It shouldn't be, oh, I have to go to the gym. Oh, I need to be on the treadmill for 40 minutes. It's about celebrating what we can do, and yeah, moving our bodies to feel good, not to punish ourselves for what we've eaten or watching Netflix all weekend or something like that. But it should be to enjoy ourselves and get stronger and be healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. We have one
Mm-hmm.
life, right?
We do, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And I did ask you on the call if you could go back in time and not have this experience, would you have? And what was your answer?
Oh, you know what? To that answer, I can't, like, I've lived a lifetime in the last 2 weeks, so I'm not sure of my answer 2 weeks ago, but I can tell you, I think this has been a lesson for me that will be valuable for the rest of my life. If I hadn't had an injury now, with the lack of weight training, you know, we're bound to get injured. We're all, you know, I had a friend who has a disability who said we're all going to be disabled at one point in our lives. It's not just the people who are disabled who
Mm.
experience that. We all, at one point in our lives, if we live long enough, experience disability. So we're all going to have an injury at one point or another. And now I feel very, very well prepared in my mindset. I've had this positive reinforcement to an already fairly positive mindset. It's just blown up in the awareness of the importance of a positive mindset and positive pivoting in difficult circumstances that will now inform me for the rest of my life and through all challenges. I hope. I mean, this is all a beautiful theory that one hopes will be true, but you know, right now I'm practicing this theory and I'm finding it to be
Mm-hmm.
true. And the other thing is you just don't know how bad it could have gotten mentally. You know, I don't know. I've avoided that completely, and I've had a bit of a positive experience feed a positive experience feed a positive experience, rather than what could easily be the exact opposite, a bit of a negative experience feed a negative experience feed a negative experience.
And with this strength that you've developed over the last year, it would not surprise me if you bounce back from surgery so much faster, because everything is just much stronger than if you've been sitting for a year waiting
Mm-hmm.
for this to happen.
Yeah, so
Like,
that was actually a big motivation in me going to the gym. Is I had read up when I read up about a torn meniscus. I read about the benefits of weight training beforehand, that you might be able to even heal it without surgery. Well, it turns out where my tear is, it still is requiring surgery, even though I feel great every day. I do always feel it a little bit, so I know that it is there, and the MRI has proven that. But all that to say that the research I did showed also my recovery after surgery will be so much easier, which again is something intangible and a theory that sounds great, but I feel very confident in that, because I've experienced the benefits so much already. You know, I have this one bike. We all have our routes, right? Half of your people, I'm sure, are on Strava. You could go, they have the same routes like I do. And I have this one bike ride that takes me up a very steep hill. And this steep hill used to kill me. And since I've been weight training, I find it not easy, but I'm not dying out of breath. I'm like, I find it actually, and I'm not hating it actually. Oh, the hill's coming up. No, it's like, yeah, the hill's coming up. I've got this, and I feel good, and I can really feel a physical difference in my ability to take on this this obstacle in front of me, which surely is a metaphor for life too. An open mindset, a positive mindset to take on the obstacles in front of us.
I love it. I love it so much.
Well,
I
I
love
love
it so
you.
much.
That works out.
And for anybody watching, again, this is just your experience. But as I was saying, I found it so inspiring at how you pivoted and you've had such an incredible experience from that pivot and gained so much insight on how to move your body and to listen to your body. And I regularly say to my clients, listen to your body, listen to your body. I'm like a broken record, but you're the only one that knows what's going on in your body and what you can push and what you can't, when you need to ease off. And but I also think, yeah, your strong mindset really, really helped. And it could have gone one of either way, but because you were already in a really strong position, I think that helps kind of launch you into this path, versus who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, for sure. And I will add, I have a lot of love and support around me. I have very loving friends and family around me. So that surely adds to that positive mindset.
Sure.
They all knew I was going through a hard time. My sister sent me a sweater in the mail and said, here's a hug. I can't be with you, so here's a hug. And it was a beautiful merino wool sweater. And, just knowing that you're loved and supported helps you, I think, of course, be able to harness that positive mindset.
For sure. Yeah. And if anybody that's watching this doesn't have anybody around them, then please reach out. Like you're not alone. And during a time of injury, it's a mental headfuck at times. So like don't
really
go through this alone.
It just feels like the end of the world some days. I remember reading about plantar fasciitis and people saying that they had it for 6 or 7 months when I had just started with it. And I thought that sounded horrible. Well, this has been almost a full year since the plantar fasciitis and the torn meniscus. And you know what? The first couple of months sucked big time. And it's been really great the last several months.
And one thing that I'm always mindful of is you want to be able to move your body for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So taking the time now to address those injuries, address those problems, versus continuing to push through and those injuries then lasting longer. Like there's no race, there's no one run that is more important than your long-term health. Yes. So really being careful of, you've only got one body. And yes, okay, we can do surgery and hip replacements and all these kind of crazy things these days, but you've got one body, so look after it as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I just say too that I'm so grateful for my health, and I'm grateful to have met you and to be inspired by the good work that you're doing as a running coach, and the what you put out here on Instagram. I'm very, very inspired, and so I just want to thank you for that.
Well, I'm so glad our paths have crossed. And I loved our conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I've loved it even more today. So thank you so much, Amy. I really do appreciate it. And anybody watching, please reach out if you've got any questions. Like I said, this is Amy's experience. It was a wonderful experience. It's so inspiring. So yeah, give me a shout if you've got any questions on this. I am running mindset masterclasses over the next couple of months. So if this is something that you're interested in, then send me a DM and I can send you out the link. But thank you, Amy. I really do appreciate your time today. And good luck with everything that's to come. I'm really excited to see how things progress after the surgery, and there'll be no stopping you. With all this strength building for the last year, you're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Amy. Yeah. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.